Today, I'm going to be ranking all of my songs within a tier list. On this channel, you guys have seen me be kind of critical to other artists' work. Well, today you'll see that I am equally, if not more, self-critical to my own, which I shouldn't be. But we're gonna get started right away and we're just gonna see how this goes. Okay, so we are obviously going in chronological order, which means the first song we have is Daydream's intro. This is a cute little intro. I mean, it does express the reason why I wanted to be a songwriter. It feels very true to me. However, because it's so short, it doesn't really branch out or explore anything deep. It's a little kiddie, a little loopy, I would say. It's perfect to go right in the middle of our tier list. I'm gonna put it in B category. Our next one is Kiss the Lonely Fright. It was one that I was always really excited about because it addressed anxiety and I always related to it from a young age. However, I never really managed to get that vulnerable with it. The lyrics more feel like I'm trying to be a life coach, but it's coming out of a little 10-year-old voice. It doesn't really actually demonstrate the true power that I always wanted it to. However, I still respect the song for having such a strong message and for the uniqueness of this expression that I came up with, the B category. Next song we have is the title track on my debut EP, My Eyes. This song is definitely the most unique out of all the songs on My Eyes, and it's like the most mysterious, the most abstract. Lyrically, it's also, I think, one of the best on My Eyes. However, looking back, it's kind of laughable. I went too high at some parts. I put too much of a growl on other parts. I tried to make it really mysterious, but doing so, I kind of went over the top, but I still respect its uniqueness. I feel like B tier for all three of these work. Alright, the next one we have, which I'm definitely not going to be putting in the same tier, is Hurt Me. By far, out of all my songs, I probably have to say that this one is my least favorite. The chorus, just repeating, hurt me, just, it's very annoying to me nowadays. The pre-chorus and the bridge, they're very wordy. The song itself is just super whiny, and I think it makes way more big of a deal of a situation than it needs to be. It's going right into D tier. Regret that song. But the next one is Tired of You. It was always my favorite on My Eyes, and it reflects on the situation exactly in the way Hurt Me doesn't, and in the way that I wanted it to. It says that yes, this was a toxic relationship, but I'm going to be a strong, mature person and essentially be happy that I was able to realize that this is bad and that I had the power and strength to leave. And I love the positive turn it has on a bad situation. For an S tier song, I think it has to be something very revolutionary and mesmerizing. And while Tired of You is catchy, I don't think it's as eye-opening to be S, but it's A. Definitely the best song in My Eyes, and definitely A. Now, the next one we have is Good Friend. Good Friend is equally as sweet, however, the beat is kind of more simplistic. It fails to really bring pure joy or to really bring pure emotion, so it's kind of stuck in the middle. It feels very childish, very similar to like the Disney, You Got a Friend in Me. I don't really think it's horrible per se, but I definitely don't think it's the best that I've done. So we're putting it in C. Now we move on to the final track on My Eyes, La 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 La. La 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 is opposite from Hurt Me. I think it is equally as despisable because Hurt Me is so one-dimensionally, non-deeply negative. La La is so one-dimensionally, shallowly, not a word, positive. It's by far the most kiddie-sounding song out of all my songs. It doesn't have that great lyrics. I was trying to make like the best party song out of it. However, it sounds like it's only meant for 5-year-olds. It goes in D. Now, the opening track of Ain't Better, Loving Each Other, is probably one of my favorite songs I've ever done. I believe that it has very smart perspective, intelligent lyrics. I think that it takes a very unique stance on the pandemic, and it wasn't like any of the other songs I heard at that time. One of my favorite things about my favorite song, La Buena Vida, some of you guys might know, is that it can be listened to when you're happy, when you're sad, or you're angry. And I feel like though, even though Loving Each Other doesn't have a backing instrumental, it essentially has the same effect. It has angry lyrics, the message is negative, however, it is very upbeat. It's this combination of multiple worlds. And also most of the adults in my family who have listened to Aim Better or even my music in general, loving each other is one of their favorites, which is generally a sign of good quality and sophistication. And I do feel the exact same way about it. It's going in S tier. The next one we have is Give One to Me. This was just kind of my attempt to fit in with the sad, emo, teen trend that was going on at the time post-pandemic. However, the lyrics are so kind of over-exaggerated and not really personal that you can tell I don't even really know what I'm talking about, that I'm not really depressed. I'm just trying to make a song that sounds depressing. Because it's not a horrible song, but just because there's nothing that would make me really be proud of it, it's gonna also go in C category, but a little above Good Friend. Alright, and the next song, speaking of C tier songs, Good Friend Part 2. And honestly, the only thing I can think about with the song is, why does it even exist? Why did I need to make a part 2 to a song that I already thought was average? Why do we need to revisit that? Everything about it is just similar. There's no reason to put it in a different category than the original Good Friend, and there was really no need for it on Aim Better. Now, with Yellow, obviously I have to give props because it's so unique, it's so memorable. It is my most streamed song on Spotify by like 250 streams because people are like, what the hell is this? However, obviously the pickle song part of it is so foolish, and nobody during the writing process somehow understood that that can come off as dirty, and it makes me cringe now listening to it. However, I gotta respect the originality of it, so we're gonna put it in B tier. Now the next one is Fathers. At least with Fathers, it was intended to sound dirty. However, hearing those lyrics come out of a little baby kid voice, it's weird, it's disturbing, it's off-putting. Even if you look at it from the perspective that it's about a bond with a dog, that even makes it sound weirder though, because of how many double entendres there are. You don't want any of it to be about a dog. So even though it's catchy, even though it's memorable, it's gonna go in B. But we'll put it at the top of B actually. Alright, New Year's Eve. Luba was the best part of the song, and she made the song. However, the part that I don't like about which is the part that's entirely on me. The storytelling isn't that great. The song moves on very quickly, and it kind of just follows the simple standards of what would be a love song, even though it's not. It's supposed to be a family song. Luba's contributions to the song were A tier. However, my contributions to the song were B tier. We are ranking this as my song tier list. I'm going to put New Year's Eve in B. However, that's not to discredit Luba in any way, shape, or form. I think I made that very clear. Alright, the last song on Aim Better is one I love. It's Who You Are. I think Who You Are just has such a great message to it, and it is so empowering and enlightening that it's impossible to hate it, even though it can sound cringy and it can sound a little overly positive. I think it's still mature enough in the lyrics. So even though it's not multi-dimensional, I would feel like it is discarding the message of the song if I were to put it any lower. Because of that, I want Who You Are to be an A tier. Alright, and now we move on already to my most recent EP, Connection. So, the debut track, Lots of Time. Lots of Time is a good kicker. It starts, it's really fun. However, it's nothing too deep and it's kind of rushed. It's getting a little repetitive at times. Because it's catchy and because it starts the album by enticing the audience, we're still gonna put it in B tier. However, don't think it's anything extraordinarily special. Now we have Textin. I love the genre of having an upbeat song that's really sad. Combining having sad EDM songs, I just love the opposition in them, and I feel like I kind of did a good job replicating that in a song without an instrumental. Its lyrics are kind of simplistic, but because I think it's just a cool, different song, and I think the beat is one of my best, I will put Textin in A tier, and I still think it is a really good single. Only Featured Us. I'm gonna start actually with the flaw in this one. This song is very overextended and it is very repetitive. And it's 4 minutes and 40 seconds. It doesn't need that. However, it is by far one of the most interesting and original concepts for a song I've ever had. I've never heard a song that addressed a similar topic to Only Featured Us. I'm happy that I thought of the concept, but I'm not happy in the way that I executed it. Oh, and by the way, I know Only Featured Us is the 6th song in the Connection track list. I just very much so regret that. When I did my official registration of Connection, I actually did it that way. So that's why I'm doing it that way in this video. Energy. Energy was never really a song that stuck out to me. When I did Connection, it was more just kind of a place filler, and it's not really that captivating either. It's kind of very mellow. However, I will respect it for being a bold leap for me. I never really made a song that's as risky, I would say, and that's sensual, and I do think that I conveyed that side of the song pretty well. Again, Energy belongs in B. Satisfaction is also just another song that's fun party. It has no real depth to it. It has no real meaning to it. However, it doesn't sound as childish as La 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 La, and I think it's more catchy. I think it actually brings the fun. It has better analysis, better lyrics. When There's Tired of You, which is also a fun song that actually has like a real message to it. Satisfaction just doesn't belong in the same group. Perfect for me is never a song that I would have done on my own. I'm just gonna say that. I don't believe in perfection. That's the first part. And second part, I don't like making gender-specific songs. I like all my songs to be gender neutral so that anybody can sing them and it being accurate to them. Chose those parts from the song, which I don't blame for her. She can do whatever she wants. It's just not mine. And obviously the song is very short, very simple. It fails to get deep. I don't think it's horrible, so C. For our last track, we have one of my favorite songs I've ever done. We have When I'm With You. Personally, gonna brag that When I'm With You is a very well-written ballad. I like how there's a journey to it. I think all the lyrics are very sweet and very imaginative. I like how it's not really taking place in the real world. I like that there's a lot amount of metaphors, and I like that it's very visual, and everything you're saying, you can picture it in your head. I think it really takes you on experience, on a journey. I think it has a strong punch to it. It's not mellow the entire time. It definitely has this build up to it, and I just think it's a very beautiful song. What's also interesting about it is that it's literally the exact opposite of Loving Each Other. It's more down tempo, but it has a positive message to it. So it's again this kind of mishmashing of worlds, but I think it's just as deep and just as insightful as Loving Each Other. We're gonna put it actually at a very, very, very tippity top. This is the final tier ranking. I didn't go through and rank them all within each tier because that would make it really hard, especially with the 3 My Eye songs and the 4 Connection songs. I feel like they're all on the same level to one another. However, I think the 4 Connections are better than 3 My Eyes, actually. I just know that if I'm going to rank them specifically, I will definitely disagree with them later on. B is what I describe most of my songs. Lots of them have strengths, but also very apparent flaws in them. And I'm not going to be a person who looks at them with rose-colored glasses. I want to see the flaws so that I can improve on them. And because this is all so early in my songwriting days, in my life, I can't expect everything I write to be automatically S and A. Because I've been so analytical and introspective with my past songs, I have definitely done that with the next album that is coming up, and I had done it a little differently. I cut out any songs that I felt were not either S or A material, and because of that, this era is gonna look a little different than my last album. So I'm so excited because it is all happening. Everything is already recorded. I am just putting all the works of it together to be released out into the world. So I hope everyone comes back to listen to all the new songs that I have in store for all of you guys. So anyways, make sure to hit that subscribe button because it'll help my channel blossom, and I would love to see it do that. But most importantly, smile, shine, and be happy, and I will most certainly keep you updated with when all these new songs are arriving, and I'm very excited, so I hope you come back. Bye!